Our Make-A-Wish child, Hannah, is on the flag stand, ready to turn this field of 600 horsepower, ground-pounding modifieds. On to turn number 4, green flag. Down the back straightaway they go, Eddie Dockenhausen and Chris Pasteryak. Who's going to lead lap number 1? Dockenhausen high. Dockenhausen will lead it. Eddie Dockenhausen, Chris Pasteryak, Rob Goodenough. Now Hinckley goes to work on the inside of Tom Abele. Hinckley on the low side. Chris Wenzel shot up high, but gathered up his number 83 in between the third and fourth corner. 27 modifieds taking the green flag here in the season finale. Goodenough in third, Hinckley, Abele the top 5, Dwight Jarvis. Then we've got number 35, Dale Evanson. Todd Patnode in the 01 car. Mike Holdridge in the number 0. Holdridge, a good run in the 0 car. Dockenhausen, Pasteryak, Goodenough, and Hinckley. 5 Connecticut racers in the top 5. We got 2 together, 2 around in turn number 2. Audrey Stevens and Peter Jarvis of the 9 New Hampshire bringing out the first caution flag here on lap number 5. Todd Owen in the 11, the Zarnecki brothers car. Here they come. Waving them out of the corner, green flag. Out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Dockenhausen and Pasteryak, nerf by through the corners. Look at Goodenough right in there. Here comes Les Hinckley, always runs good at Lee. He was denied the championship. He'd love to win one here today. Dwight Jarvis and the Nils Lundstedt, number 28. 4-car battle for the lead here. Man, oh man, it don't get any better than that. Side by side out of the turn. Hinckley gets by. Goodenough. Here comes Goodenough to the inside. Dockenhausen and Pasteryak. Abele and Jarvis by. Dale Evanson's going to go to the outside of Abele now. Here comes the 35. Pasteryak and Dockenhausen, Hinckley and Goodenough. Your top 4. Jarvis trying to reel him in. Dicing out of turn number 4. Chris Pasteryak, Eddie Dockenhausen. Dockenhausen, the former Chemung, New York champion. Pasteryak stretched right back on the outside. Both of these drivers running inches apart. But what a show they're putting on here at Lee. Hinckley to the bottom once again between 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, Hinckley to the inside of Pasteryak, making a bid now for the number 2 spot. Les Hinckley bobbled a little bit. No problem. Now the field is nose to tail with car number 48. Kirk Alexander by Dwight Jarvis. Here comes Alexander. Alexander in the 5th spot. Whoa, good enough, get into the back of Pasternak. He let him straighten it out. Alexander goes by on the inside. What a tough break. Good enough, got into the back of Pasternak. He lifted to let Chris straighten his racer out. Now you get Hinckley on the outside of Dockenhausen as they run quick and hard off turn number 2. Plus Hinckley takes over the lead here on lap number 18. Pushes in hard but holds it down. They probably told Hinckley, go to the front. Alexander's on his way. Dwight Jarvis is in 6th spot. 7th is Yvonne. 8th is Abele. 9th is Patno. 10th is Wenzel. Bateman 11th. Holdridge 12th. Owen is in 13th spot. 14th is Jimmy Dolan. And 15th is Andy Seiss in car number 70. Holdridge and Owen side by side out of turn number 2. So some good racing going on there between Todd Owen and Mike Holdridge. Hinckley with Alexander. Here's your point leaders having at it. The champion going after the 2nd place car in the standings. Hinckley would love to wrap up the season with a win here. Alexander staying right with the 0-6. Good enough stays with Pasternak. Good enough and Pasternak have got a good battle going on for 4th. Alexander's right up behind Hinckley. Here goes Alexander to the outside off turn number 2. Side by side, and we've got our 3rd different leader. Kirk Alexander taking the lead on lap number 27. Yellow flag, caution is on the speedway. That is going to be for the veteran Brian Schofield in car 07. 26 laps completed as we go back to the last green flag lap. So we'll send them underway one more time, and here they come, pounding the pavement out of 4. Green flag. Alexander with his foot through the floorboard takes the lead on the back straightaway. Hinckley 2nd, Dockenhausen. Look at Dockenhausen on the outside here, challenging Hinckley. Pasternak and Patnode. Todd Patnode on the bottom of Pasternak. Here comes Goodenough to the inside. Rob Goodenough trying to challenge for the number 3 spot as he runs the inside of Eddie Dockenhausen out of 2 and down the back chute. Whoa! Wenzel and Abele together on the back chute. Contact made there. Caution on the speedway. Here they come. Green flag. Eddie Dockenhausen, Eddie D in the 2nd spot. And then you've got Rob Goodenough and Todd Patnode. Jack Bateman is quietly working his way into the top 5 in car number 17. Goodenough down low. Goodenough works over the inside of Eddie Dockenhausen down the back chute. Todd Patno dips in behind the number 6 car. Here goes Goodenough to the inside. Dockenhausen, plenty of horsepower off turn number 2. Hinckley went to the back end of the field here, trying to work his way back up front. Kirk Alexander. Eddie Dockenhausen doing a superb job in car number 48. With Rob Goodenough right there, we got a action over at turn number 2. Yellow on the speedway, lap number 35. Out of the corner, green flag. Look at Jack Bateman. Bateman on the move now to the inside of Todd Patno. Goodenough on the bottom. Mike Douglas Jr. loose in front of Vinny Anarumo. Almost created a 3-wide situation going into 1. Goodenough by Dockenhausen now as Rob runs the bottom. So let's set it up for you. Alexander's leading it. Goodenough, Dockenhausen third, Bateman and Patno. Chris Wenzel to the inside of Dale Ivanchin racing for 6th spot. Tommy Provino and Todd Owens side by side, the 11 and the number 25. Anarumo on the inside of the number 69 of Jimmy Dolan, right behind Mike Hoagland. Alexander is fast. Todd Owen and Chris Wenzel got a battle going on behind the number 35 of Dale Ivanchin. Good race there. Tommy Gravino and Vinny Anarumo in the number 12. Brian Schofield into the infield in the 07. Jack Bateman on the outside of the number 48, Eddie Dockenhausen. Bateman's on the move. Jack Bateman the third. Here's Bateman to the outside. Making a run for the number 2 spot with Rob Goodenough. Jack Bateman right alongside, exiting the second corner. On the back chute, into turn number 3. Side-by-side battle going on for the number 2 spot. Bateman moves to second. Jack Bateman to second spot. Can he catch Alexander? Closing in on the halfway mark. Car number 43 continues to set the pace. Goodenough third. Dockenhausen and Patno, your top 5. Ebonch in 6th, 7th is Owen, 8th is Gravino, 9th Anarumo, Hinckley in 10th spot. Bateman appears to be closing on Kirk Alexander. Halfway. 50 down, 50 to go. Black Mountain Painting Award will go to the race leader, Kirk Alexander. Wenzel, a little out of shape down the front straightaway. Three laps into the record books. Kirk Alexander, the race leader. Third different leader of this event. Jack Bateman that time pushed way up in the corner. Bateman in 2nd spot. Rob Goodenough 3rd. The number 48, Eddie Dockenhausen, is in 4th. 5th spot is Todd Patnoe in the 01 car. When it appeared that Bateman was closing on the race leader, that has since changed as Alexander's got a full straightaway lead over Jack Bateman. Alexander on torrid pace here at Lee, USA, looking to pick up another victory. Jack Bateman distantly in 2nd. Rob Goodenough, Eddie Dockenhausen, and Todd Patnoe. 61 laps into the record books. Alexander goes loose, but he holds on. He got up very high in the 4th turn. He got a little loose up there, up into the marbles. Whoop! Back straightaway. Yellow flag. David Roy's around in the 79. As this field gets ready to go back to green, John Spence ready to wave them out of the corner, and here they come. Green flag. Now we'll see how this plays out. Anarumo to the inside of Dockenhausen. Vinny's going to challenge for 4th spot in the bottom of turn 4. out to fourth. Patno behind Dockenhausen. Peter Jarvis looked to the inside of Brian Schofield. Tommy Clavino on the outside. Here's Vinny now, making a run to the inside. There goes Anarumo in the third spot. Anarumo to third. The number 12 car's on the move. Anarumo is closing on Bateman. Goodenough is in fourth, Dockenhausen fifth, sixth, Patno, seventh, Clavino, eighth is Mike Douglas Jr. What a nice job he's done. He's been patient, he's running eighth. Alexander, the class of the field. Anarumo trying to catch the 17. Kirk Alexander. Down the back straightaway, yellow flag on the speedway. That's going to be for Sean Boudreau. Here they come for the race start. Green flag. Down the back straightaway, Anarumo to the inside of Bateman. Boy, there's two veterans going at it right there for the number 2 spot. Bateman and Anarumo battling for the number 2 spot. Goodenough and Dockenhausen for the 4th position. Dockenhausen back to 4th. Here comes Mike Douglas Jr. Douglas Jr. now on the inside of Rob Goodenough. And Douglas Jr.'s in the 5th spot. Mike Douglas Jr. to 5th. Andy Seiss is following him. Alexander, lap 76 up on the board. Fourth spot, Dockenhausen. And in 5th spot, it's Douglas. 6th is Seiss. Goodenough is faded to 7th. Look at Pasteryak trying to get to the front. Chris Pasteryak. There goes Anarumo to the inside of Bateman for the 2nd spot. Pasteryak right up behind Goodenough. Pasteryak trying to get to the front. Little tire contact with Vinny and Jack. Anarumo getting into the 17. Drawing a warning from John Spence. Douglas and Dockenhausen as Andy Seiss has moved in the 4th spot. Now a good battle going on for the 5th position with the 23 and the number 48, the D-Boys. Pasteryak right behind him in the 15 Connecticut car. Chris Pasteryak trying to get back into a top 5 finish here as Alexander's run away and hidden on the field. Alexander Bateman, Anarumo, Andy Seiss, and Mike Douglas Jr. Two Lee USA Speedway graduates, 4th and 5th. We got the Monadnock guys running 1-2, a Seekonk guy in 3rd, and a Lee guy in 4th and 5th. Chris Pasteryak and Mike Douglas Jr. right there for the 5th spot. Here's Anarumo to the inside of Bateman. Vinny making a bid for the number 2 spot out here in the front straightaway. Here comes Andy Seiss. Andy Seiss getting strong late here. And Seiss is going to challenge Anarumo for 3rd. Good battle going on for 3rd spot. Andy Seiss, the former 350 Super Modified driver. Oh, Anarumo into the side of him. Around goes Vince Perry, and the caution is out. Vinny Anarumo made tire contact with the number 70 of Andy Seiss, and Butch Perry ended up the victim of it. As they get ready to cover the final 15 laps of the True Value Modifieds 2007 season. Andy Seiss trying to catch up to Jack Bateman. Mike Douglas will try to hold off Chris Pasteryak. Eddie Dockenhausen, Rob Goodenough. Here comes Pasteryak to the inside. Pasteryak to the inside here, challenging Mike Douglas out of turn number 2. Douglas fights back. Douglas fights back and holds on to the position. Alexander hanging on to the top spot. Jack Bateman and Andy Seiss. Bateman pushes up, Seiss to the bottom. Here's Pasteryak one more time on the inside of the number 23. Here goes Andy Seiss to the inside of Bateman, and Bateman outmotors him. The Jack's Racing Engine, number 17, hanging on. Bobbled a little bit that time in turn number 4. Seiss down low one more time. And one more time, Bateman's able to hang on. 10 laps to go. 10 to go. Seiss inside. Andy Seiss goes to 2nd spot. Seiss to 2nd. Now let's see if Douglas can hold off Chris Pasteryak. Alexander on his way to number 27. Kirk Alexander working through the traffic. Seiss, Bateman, Douglas, and Pasteryak. Look at Les Hinckley trying to get a respective finish here. 5 laps to go. 5 to go for Kirk Alexander. Yellow on the speedway. And that's going to be for Audrey Stevens over in the number 2 turn. The North-South shootout remains for the Modifieds and the Turkey Derby at Wall Stadium Thanksgiving weekend. Green flag. Caution's out. Yellow's out. Incident over in the 3rd turn. Didn't see that. I was watching the leaders off the corner. Alrighty, here we go. 6 laps to go. Green flag. He Hinckley right behind Pasternak. Somehow I don't think the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth race is over. Here's the 5 to go again. Hinckley to the inside of Pasternak, tips down low going into turn number 1. Hinckley right behind Douglas now. Douglas trying to get an inside shot at Bateman. Bateman goes up, Douglas may try the inside. Boy, would Douglas love to get a podium finish here at Lee. Hinckley might have something to say about that. Mike Douglas Jr. right on the reel of Jack Bateman. Oh, look at Alexander's got a tire problem. Andy Seiss is leading it. Alexander. Jack Bateman, second caution is out for Alexander. Alexander, 3 laps shy of a finish, is headed to the pit area. His father must be down there with every finger crossed on both hands. They got Hinckley right behind them. Here they are. John Spence throws the green, back to racing. But look at Pasternak. Pasternak's taking a shot at Hinckley for the 4th spot. They're side by side down the straightaway. Good racing going on here at the finish. 2 laps to go for Andy Seiss. Hinckley way high. And Pasternak goes into the 4th spot. One more lap on the True Value Modified Series season for Andy Seiss. Mike Douglas in the 2nd spot as Jack Bateman fades. Bateman fades, Pasternak the 3rd. Top break for Jack Bateman as he slows. The Sunoco checkers go to Andy Seiss, Mike Douglas, Chris Pasternak.
Here's Andy Seiss coming around to accept the laurels in victory lane. And a reminder at the conclusion of victory lane ceremonies.
But I'll tell you, that's going to be one of the most exciting finishes over the final 3 laps that I've ever called. Andy Seiss, you know, this really took on an interesting twist because you and Douglas are both graduates from this Lee USA Speedway. You've run here in 350 Supers and late models, and of course, you've had success in modifieds. You did not have the greatest season, I'm sure you would agree, but you got this car here, and boy, this thing's been running good. You have got to be ecstatic with winning on your home turf.
Yeah, it's the first time I've won here at Lee, especially in a modified. You don't know how much this win means to me. Finished 3rd, then 2nd, finally to win it. And after this season of wrecking cars and motors and just bad luck, I wasn't counting on it until I did a couple victory laps and they didn't take the checkered flag away from me because just the way this season's gone, it hasn't been the greatest. But I'll tell you, we wrecked last night at All-Star Speedway. These guys stayed up past midnight putting the car back together, and we worked every minute right until we had to get called to scales today to get the car perfect. And in the long run, it really was. And I'm just happy for them. You know, they stuck with me throughout this year. It hasn't been the greatest, but can't thank them enough. My sponsors, Stewart's Automotive, Rockingham Boat, Summit Signs, Lyle and Kathy Patterson. It's just been an awesome team, and they deserve this. And I can't tell you how happy I am for them, too.
Well, let me ask you this. I think every fan sitting in here on Oktoberfest weekend wants to know what went through the mind of Andy Seiss when he saw Alexander sitting up there in the 4th corner.
Well, we knew his tire was going down, but I think that was helping him with all the bite, you know, more rear bite coming out of the turn. So I wanted to race him for the win, but after this season's gone, I mean, I was already celebrating 2nd, but these guys kept me pumped up, telling me to go after the win, and that's what we did.
Your crew, your sponsors, your family, and half the town of Hampstead's waiting to see you. We'll let you go see them. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the fans for sticking this race out.
All righty, Andy Seiss' 3rd career win. What a great job from Mike Douglas Jr., a former hobby stock competitor. I want to tell you, I'm proud of you, man. You did a great job here today.
Yeah, it's awesome to be back home in front of the hometown fans. Spent a lot of time down here in Victory Lane with a hobby stock, and just happy to have everyone out here. Come see more races next year. We need more races at Lee.
Well, we will definitely be back here. Listen, this is the best finish you've had to date. Nobody works harder than you guys. I know you guys personally, and I see a lot of the hard work that you and your dad and your crew put into the number 23 to come back to your home racetrack and run as consistent, as strong as you did. And I know that I always preach patience to you. You were patient here tonight, and you got yourself a fantastic second place finish.
Yeah, I told Dad, I'm like, that front bumper looks too straight. We're going to need to use that today. But he says, no, use patience. He goes, it's a long race. And we set the car up just tight enough in the beginning where it was pretty good towards the end. I mean, I'd just like to thank everyone this year. Everyone raced clean, hard. We got a great group of guys here. Any chance you can come see MRS race, come and see it.
All right, very good. Nice job, Mike Douglas Jr. And another great run here from a guy that has been really getting closer and closer as the season's gone on, and you hung tough in this one. You look like you were going to be strong at the outset. Something happened, and then you went to the back and you worked your way back up here. Chris Pasteryak, what a great run for you and a great finish.
Thank you very much. I know it started first, finished third. Doesn't sound too eventful, but going 5 feet within going a lap down, and then I think David Roy spun out of 2, and we just kept pitting and tightening the car up and tightening the car up, and we actually had it too tight at the end, believe it or not. Thank everyone for coming. Great weather for Oktoberfest. Go Sox.
Go Sox is right. Congratulations, Chris Pasteryak, on a great season. Nice to have you fellas with us in 2007.
You've got Oktoberfest here at Lee USA Speedway. God, it's good to be from New England.
You betcha, a lot of good winners out here as we get set to go. 50 laps for the late models. Ready to bring them down. Brian Kruzik on the inside. And the 56 of Dave Verrill on the outside. Green is out. Kruzik from that pole position. Out in front. Verrill runs second. Look at the battle for third. J.R. Burrill in the number 2. Burrill down on the inside. Trouble in turn 4. And it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it going, so the caution flag comes out. Yellow is out. Set for the green flag. Here they come. Green is out. There's the battle for the lead. Kruzik to the point from the pole position. Now, J.R. Burrill down underneath Verrill. That is the race for second spot. Burrill's got him in the number 2. Here comes the 24 of Lebrec. Jeff Lebrec. Quickly underneath the 56 to try and take the third spot away. And does. Lebrec the third, Verrill is 4th. Ricky Wolf runs 5th. And the number 20 of Chris Lyman runs in the 6th spot. Botwell 7th. Here's Burrill down underneath Kruzik. Battle for the lead on the backstretch. And the caution flag comes out. Yellow is out. Just as the race for the lead was heating up, a spin over there in the third turn. That's the 01 of Mark Anzalone. Here they come. Green is out. Kruzik back to the lead, but he's got plenty of company. Here comes Burrill up on the outside. And Lebrec battling from that third spot on the inside. 3-car race for the lead. 3 wide on the front stretch. Down into turn 1. Burrill by a nose. Puts the hammer down out of 2 and takes the lead. Burrill the new leader. Kruzik to second. Lebrec is third. Verrill is 4th. Ricky Wolf runs in the 5th spot. Trouble for the number 6 of Larry Goss, and then several cars involved up here in turn number 4. We're under caution once again. Got the 53 in there, along with the 0, the oh no. Slowly into turn 3. Now they pick up the pace. Here they come. Green is out. Side by side for the lead, Brian Cusick. Trying to hang tough up there on the outside. Trying to race back. Pulls up alongside Burrell. Pushes up in the middle of the turn. That leaves the door open for Jeff Lebret. Lebret down underneath Cusick. Lebret goes to the second spot. Cusick shuffled back to third. Battle for the fourth spot between Verrill and Ricky Wolf. And oh, Lebret comes around. Loses it in the middle of the fourth turn, and the caution flag comes out. As J.R. Burrell and Dale Verrill up front for the restart. 7 complete. Here they come. Green is out. Burrell back to the point. Ricky Wolf gets the jump for second in the 38. And Burrell gets a point from the starter just to say, hey, you're a little too quick on that start. But it didn't seem to make any difference because he's opened up a big lead out there in the number 2. Ricky Wolf for second. Chris Lyman is third. Dale Verrill back to fourth. Bodwell is fifth. And he's being hounded by the 04 of Tom Watson. And look out, a spin up in the second turn. Couple cars around. Larry Goss in the number 6. Also the 47 of W.A. Bernard. As the 6 and the 24 came together over there in turn 3, and the 6 turns around, also causes the 47 to come around, and look at that, we're under caution again.
Oh my God, Christmas is tomorrow. I haven't gotten my wife anything. Wow, am I in trouble. This is a way to avoid that. Heading off towards the snack bar, go grab a video. Green flag's back out.
Back underway with the single file restart. See if we can get some more laps under our belt here as Burrell goes back to the lead. Now he's got Ricky Wolf in tow. The Wolf in the number 38. Looking to challenge for that lead. Then the number 20 of Chris Lyman. Bodwell in the 73. Burrell opening up a big lead in that number 2. A race for second between Wolf in the 38 and Chris Lyman in the 20. Lyman looks to the low side, tucks it down underneath Wolf, and a drag race. Down the front stretch, Lyman gets underneath and takes over the second spot. Wolf goes to third, Dale Verrill is fourth. Cody Bodwell is fifth in the number 73. Caution flag is out. We got a car up against the wall between the first and second turn. Backed up into the wall between 1 and 2. And J.R. Burrell continues to lead. Ricky Wolf for second. Chris Lyman for third. And Dale Verrill fourth spot in the 56. Here they come. Ricky Wolf gets a good start and decides to try the inside of Burrell, but Burrell's got the momentum out of turn 2 and leads him down the backstretch. Now Ricky Wolf's going to have his hands full with the number 20 coming up behind him in that race for second spot. Wolf in the BG Environmental number 38, challenged by the 20 of Chris Lyman. Lyman gets a nose underneath, has to back out into turn 3. We'll try it again out of the fourth turn. That's the race for second. The Central Supply, number 20, of Chris Lyman, side by side with Ricky Wolf. Wolf pushes up in the middle of the turn, and that gives Lyman a clear shot to drive underneath. Spin on the front stretch. That's Bodwell in the 73. He's able to keep going. Cody Bodwell. Good move for him, because if the caution had come out, he would have found himself way in the back. However, he had a top 5 run going. Now here's Dale Verrill battling with Ricky Wolf. That is the race for third. Through the third and fourth turn, the 56 down underneath the 38. And he goes to third. Wolf is back to fourth. The 91 is fifth. The 04 of Tom Watson runs in the 6th spot. Correction, we said the 91. That is the number 9 of Aaron Fellows. And a spin in the wall up in the second turn. 96 up against the wall in the second turn. Brings out the caution flag, and this will bunch everybody up again. Single file restart. Work their way through turns 3 and 4, and here they come. And a nasty start. We got a tire that has come right off. The 7 driving without a left rear tire. The wheel is still on the car. Kyle Casper, who had a good run going, and he'll have to find himself into the pit area, and some quick work by the crew. Well, we are set for the restart too, as J.R. Burrill brings them out of turn 4. Here they come to the green. And a good clean start that time, as Burrill starts to open up that comfortable lead once again in the number 2. Lyman for second, Verrill is third, Ricky Wolf is fourth, Fellows is fifth, Watson runs in the 6th spot in the 04. Trouble over in turn 2. The 45, he keeps going, but, well, just barely, but no. Finally loops it around, but the caution flag was out nonetheless. Mike Melvin in the number 45. Pace car is off. They got that tire changed on the number 7. He's back out, but he'll find himself a couple of laps down, having gone out on the last caution. Green is out. Burrill back to the lead. Lyman for second. Verrill still third. Ricky Wolf is fourth. Fellows is fifth. Watson is sixth. As they race off the fourth turn. Down the backstretch, there's a battle for the 4th spot. Aaron Fellows down underneath Ricky Wolf, trying to take that spot away. Fellows in the 9 goes to 4th. Wolf is back to 5th. He's got to try to fight off the 04 of Tom Watson as they come to the cross flags. We're halfway through the 50-lap feature. 25 down and 25 to go. J.R. Burrill with a comfortable lead. Then Chris Lyman in the 20 for second. Dale Verrill, third. Aaron Fellows, fourth. Tom Watson is fifth. The 91 is sixth. Tom Fuller is seventh. Ryan Van Ness is eighth. And now Brian Kruzchek challenging for that 8th spot in the 00. He and the 24 of Jeff Lebrecht have found their way back up into the top 10. Is off the pace. That's Kevin Menard. He'll be headed to the pit area. As the leader works his way off the 4th turn, J.R. Burrill about to come into some lap traffic that includes the 77 of Jim Lenardi and the 94 of Doug Dawkins. And Dawkins actually gets a little loose right in front of the leader. That's slowing Burrill up. Burrill finally gets around him on the outside, but the 20 of Chris Lyman stays within striking distance. Those two have checked out on the rest of the field. Talking about Burrill in the 2 and Lyman. Caution flag is out. 2 cars mix it up in turn 2. Among those over there, the 6 of Larry Goss, who's got some damage to the left side, and the 79 of Brian Grants mixing it up over there. And here they come. Green is out. Burrill in the lead. Lyman for 2nd. Verrill is 3rd. Fellows is 4th. Watson is 5th. Burrill with a good line. Working his way around the racetrack. Lyman by himself in 2nd, and there's a 3rd place runner sideways. 3rd and 4th get mixed up over in turn 2. Dale Verrill comes around. Aaron Fellows gets involved up there in the number 9. Brian Kruzchek in the 00 involved. Cody Bodwell in the 73. And that was our 3rd place runner, the 56 of Dale Verrill. Here they come. Oh! Trouble at the start. The 73 mixing it up over there with the number 7 on the start, trying to pass just as the green came out. Here they come. Green is out. Back in the lead. Chris Lyman is 2nd. Tom Watson is 3rd. The 91 is 4th. Tom Fuller is 5th in the 14. '91 all over the back of the 04, trying to get that spot away. That's race for position. That's the race for 3rd. It is tight from 3rd on back. The 04, Tom Watson has it. The 91 wants it. The 14 of Tom Fuller right there watching from the 5th spot. And Jeff Lebrecht back up into the action. Add him to the mix in the number 24. Oh, the 91 and the 04, bang, slam through the third and fourth turn. Look out! Tom Fuller is the beneficiary of that as he's able to drive to the inside. Good move by Fuller. While the 91 and the 04 were tussling out there, Fuller takes full advantage, drives underneath, and takes the spot away. Fuller, minus the right front fender in the 14, goes to third. First and second have really checked out. Here comes Jeff Lebrecht in the 24. Lebrecht trying to get underneath Fuller. Lebrecht, who's come all the way from the back, trying to crawl back into the top three. That's the best race right now down the backstretch, the battle for third. Lebrecht gets the spot. Tom Fuller falls in behind him to go to fourth spot. 91 is fifth, 04 is sixth, and the 17 of Ryan Van Ness in the seventh spot. Caution is out. Spin in turn number 4. 45 comes around. Mike Melvin spins, and it brings out the caution flag. And here they come for the restart. Green is out. Burrell back to the lead. Lyman for second. Lebrecht is third. Tom Fuller is fourth. Now 8 laps to go. Here's Jeff Lebrecht challenging for the second spot. Right up on the back bumper of Chris Lyman. That is the race for second. Lebrecht gets a nose in there. Can't do it. Lyman with the advantage. Caution is out once again. And we got a car spun on the second turn back in towards pit road. Ryan Van Ness in the number 17 is off the racetrack over there just in the infield of turn number 3. As we get set to go back to the green, pace car is off. And here they come. Green is out. And Burrell is back in the lead. Chris Lyman is second. Jeff Lebrecht is third. Tom Fuller is fourth. Five laps to go this time by. 5 to go for J.R. Burrell. Here's that battle for second heating up again between Chris Lyman in the 20 and Jeff Lebrecht in the 24. Lebrecht right on the back bumper, but just not enough to climb underneath. Well, this time he gives him a little nudge. Lyman's up a groove through the first and second turn. Lebrecht is faster and takes the spot away. Lebrecht goes to second. Lyman is third. Tom Fuller is fourth. Now with just 3 laps to go. Jeff Lebrecht's done a great job because he had to come all the way from the back from an earlier incident. But it looks like he may only get the second as the popsicle sticks are up. 2 laps to go. White flag for J.R. Burrell, leading by about a half a straightaway at this point. The seemingly endless 50-lap late model feature is going to come to an end right now as the checkered flag goes up and Burrell wins it. Jeff Lebrecht for second. The 20 of Chris Lyman third. Tom Fuller in the 14 is fourth. 91 is fifth. And a good run for the 0-2 of Damien Duchesne, who ends up in the 6th spot. So that's the way they run in our 50-lap late model feature, and a big win for J.R. Burrell, the 2007 USA Speedway late model champion does it again on Oktoberfest weekend. He's climbed out of the car. Let's hear it for J.R. Burrell, our Oktoberfest late model winner. He's in victory lane. Let's throw it down to Daryl to get a few words with him.
Thank you very much, Peter. J.R. Burrell getting his congratulations. J.R., if we can get you around the front of the car here, buddy. J.R. Burrell, you had a really good record with that number 77 car, your first run in the number 2 machine. How does undefeated in the number 2 sound?
It sounds really good. We figured we'd get together. We talked about it. I talked to Dave for a year or so, and said, hey, I'd like to drive that car. That car looks like it goes really good. And boy, it does. And I got to thank Dave Reynolds, his family, the crew. Give me a shot at driving this. We came, get ready for next year. It looks like we're off on a good step already for next year. I'm really not familiar with all the sponsors yet, but Dave, I guess he's the biggest sponsor, so thank you very much.
All right, JR, you had a huge group of people supporting you. Obviously, we got some yellow tape under the numbers for all the t-shirts. I know you're going to have some new t-shirts made up for next year with your name on the t-shirts, especially with you being the 2007 track champion here at Lee USA Speedway. Tell us about your biggest supporters. I'm talking about the 3 little ones that stand behind you day in, day out. I know that that's your main goal is, yes, to be a great race car driver, but more importantly, to be a great father.
Yeah, well, this year I have a car built for my son to run up at Beach Ridge, and we started chasing points. I started running my pro stock. We ran about 35 races this year, and his car got kind of put on the back burner. But now that I'm with Dave, if we can go home looking like this every week, the weeks will be easy, and I'll have a little more time to do some racing with my kids and get them going. They won the big wheel races yesterday, so congratulations to them.
All right, let's hear it. 2007 track champion, brand new driver of the number 2, undefeated in this car, J.R. Burrell. Anthony Frisora will have to try to bring that New England trim 3X all the way from the back of this pack. Also a few rookies in this field. The 19 of David Schneider will have to come from the back, as will the number 53, who is so new he's not even on the roster yet. Green flag flies, and we're already 3 wide. First time on the track competitively for the Allison Legacy Series here at Oktoberfest weekend. Their Friday practice was rained out. They got 2 rounds of practice on Saturday, had no heats, had no time trials due to time restrictions. Christy Chavez is your race leader. Chavez out of Little Compton, Rhode Island, started 3rd in the field, is now out in the front of the pack. Taylor Orleans, 2nd spot. PitstopUSA.com sponsored entry from Wrentham, Massachusetts. Working hard, trying to find a way around Christy Chavez. Car in the wall, more contact. 32 got into the car and got in the wall. Not exactly positive at who it was. Looks like it may have been the 87 of Borges. Double check and see if we see the 87 coming around the track. I do not believe that is the 87 over there in the wall. Lined up once again side by side as the lights start to come on here at Lee USA Speedway. Green flag flies and we're back underway. They work their way down the backstretch and towards turns 3 and 4. Christy Chavez is your race leader. Around goes Orleans. Taylor Orleans around in turn 4. Also around is the 89 of Cody Netting. Or Knighting, I apologize, Knighting. As we get set To go back to green flag racing. Orleans now in the back. As is Venata, green flag flies. Back under green flag conditions. A little bit of bumper tag between the 7 and the 25 coming out of the turn. No harm, no foul. That 7 is Michael Martindale trying to find his way around the number 25 of Louis DiCello. DiCello up on the high side, Martindale on the inside. They head down the backstretch side by side. Nice battle for the number 3 position. Martindale will retake that 3rd spot. And here comes James Logan. Logan in the 5th spot, that number 44 car. He's met with the front stretch wall here at Lee USA Speedway more times than he cares to remember. As a matter of fact, once is more times than I would care to remember. He's had some horrible luck here at Lee USA Speedway. The big lights starting to come on here around the racetrack. The smaller infield lights are on. Looks like we could have a battle for the lead very shortly as Martindale will try to get to the inside of Chavez. They'll head down the backstretch. Martindale looking on the inside. Chavez leaves a lane in the bottom. Side by side, they'll come out of turn number 4. Martindale, your new race leader. That'll drop Chavez down to 2nd. Paul Tudhill up into 3rd spot. 4th is the number 25 machine of DiCello. 5th is Logan. 6th is Frisora. Now remember, Frisora had to start way at the back. Yellow flag flies. Melissa Fifield, the 17, around and up against the turn 2 wall. They wouldn't have to add but maybe 5 or 6 pounds for me to drive one of these cars. Set to go. Green flag flies and we're back underway. A lot of these cars are set up well over the minimum weight limit. The reason for that, they want balance. They want these cars as balanced as humanly possible. They want the weight where they want it to be. They're more concerned with where the weight is in the car than how much the car weighs overall. Tudhill trying to get to the high side of the number 25. Couldn't get anything going, and when he went to the high side, Logan got down to the inside. Orleans and Venata have both worked their way back up into the mix. They've found themselves around the front side of Anthony Frisora. They are pushing their 7-inch wide wheels to the absolute maximum that they can handle. Martindale continues to lead this race. However, Christy Chavez has not let Martindale out of her sight. Several of these drivers have come from the karting world. As a matter of fact, Melissa Fifield, who was just involved in that solo spin in turn number 2 just a little while ago that brought that most recent yellow flag out. She is the 2006 Junior Track Champion at Londonderry Raceway. Still getting used to the way these cars handle, and her father is getting used to the way to set these cars up. Totally different from what they've ever experienced before, especially in the karting world. Martindale out to a substantial lead, but here comes Taylor Orleans. Orleans down to the inside. We've talked to Taylor every time she's been here because she always finishes up towards the front. Round goes the 34 of Dylan Smith, and Smith gets it gathered back up and back underway. No caution there. Oh, contact. Logan around. There's Bonata involved. Frisora's up involved in that. And we'll go back under yellow flag conditions once again here at Lee USA Speedway. Getting set to go back to green flag. We're back underway. Martindale is your race leader. Orleans to the inside of Chavez. Tudhill way up next to the wall. Frisora gets by. Look at Bonata back up in the mix. Bonata is 5th. 5 more laps to go here in this one. Door panel to door panel, side by side for the number 3 position. On the inside is Knighting. James Logan back on the racetrack. Bent up and missing some body panels, but Logan has never been one to give up. 2 more laps to go. Battle for the lead. Orleans to the inside. Orleans down low, Martindale on the high side. Taylor Orleans has the top spot. Taylor Orleans on her final trip around Lee USA Speedway. Many times she's been here. Not yet to victory lane. Checkers in the air. Orleans with a fist shake takes home the win here at Oktoberfest. Martindale comes home 2nd. Knighting will come home 3rd. 4th goes to Chavez. That's your top 3 the way they cross the stripe. Congratulations for Taylor Orleans, knocking on the door all season long, and she gets it done here at Lee USA Speedway. She will be in victory lane. She's been in the top 3 every single time. Today, she sits in victory lane. Pete Falcone making his way down to victory lane. What a special day for Taylor Orleans. Takes home the win here at Lee USA Speedway, and now once she gets her helmet off, she will get to talk to the legendary Pete Falcone in victory lane. Pete?
All right, Daryl, thanks a lot. Come on over here, Taylor. Great win. Were you just waiting for those laps to wind down, or were you going as hard as you could?
I was definitely going as hard as I could. I mean, after that spin, I thought I was just going every single lap as hard as I could, past the car, trying to go every single lap, and it definitely worked out.
Well, you made it thrilling with a late race pass like that. Did you figure you could do it, or were you thinking you'd have to settle for 2nd?
I definitely knew I could do it. I never think that I could settle for 2nd. But I definitely want to thank my dad, Mark Howard Motorsports from Randleman, North Carolina. He really helps me a lot, and my mom and my sister, they're really awesome.
Well, Taylor, congratulations, and you know what? You may go in the record books as being the only female winner. Even though we have a couple more races to go, you could be the only female winner of the weekend here at Oktoberfest.
That'd be great. Thank you.
All right, congratulations to our first place winner.
Grinning there is Jim Shorey in car number 42 from Lebanon, Maine. The Lee regular, and outside of him it'll be the number 2 car. That's Hans Meyer in the number 2. Here they come for the start, 20 laps. Heavy start, green flag. Through that first and second turn, a ton of cars in competition here for this one. Down that back straightaway, Russell's on the outside. In that gray and yellow number 13, he's your leader. Bobby Glass works the outside here of Brian Thompson, the champion. Oh, and around goes Thompson. In turn number 2, Meyer into the wall. Shorey's involved. And immediately we are under caution. We've got several cars involved out there. Number 5, Alyssa Cowan. Also the number 7, Kevin Wadbert. Is that a 7 or a 72? That red car. Dave Brannon is in the 14. Wadbert's in the 7. There we go. I think we've got that straightened out. Alyssa Cohen in the number 5. And Hans Meyer is mired up against the wall. Look at the tires. I don't know if those are both Hans, but there's a couple of tires out there. Look like a couple of big donuts sitting out there. It was a hot shot then at Hudson International in that 55. Well, not that car, but number 55's been his number forever. Here's the green flag. We got to start. We got a Ronnie on the inside of that number 14 car. That's Ronnie Washburn. Rocket Ron on the move. He's right up behind Jimmy Russell. Whoa! Russell out of the way, and Washburn into the lead. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. The number 14 car is on the move. Racing strong in that number 14 car is Dave Brannon. Brannon in second spot trying to hold off Russell. Whoa, he got a car, a cloud of smoke there. Number 85, Jolton Joe Edwards. Edwards in a puff down the back chute, and he knew he'd see the black flag. Leaves the speedway. Edwards into the pit area in car number 85. Russell stays right with Brannon out of turn number 2. Side-by-side action now in the back straightaway is the number 09 car. Quick down the back straightaway, moves into the number 4 spot. Here comes Russell up high. Good racing for the number 2 spot. Brannon down low. Jimmy Russell in the 13. Hooked up in the battle, door to door down the front straightaway. Russell nudges ahead out here as they go into turn number 1. Russell moves by and he goes in the second spot in car number 13. Washburn's got a big lead in car number 49. Enjoying a full straightaway lead in that orange number 49 car. Now the 09 of Brandon battling for third spot. It comes Albie Ovid in the number 35. Ovid right up behind. The number 14 going into turn number 3. Ovid's going to drop down lower between 3 and 4. Right on the rear bumper coming off the corner of the number 14 Auto Fab sponsored automobile. Over to the inside of turn number 1, steals the spot as he exits the second corner. Right behind him is Dan Wink in the number 53. And we go yellow. We got a car stalled over. Oh, Chris Titcomb fires the motor on the yellow. Here they come, looking for the green. They get it. Back to racing we go. Russell high and hard on the outside as they go door to door down the back straightaway with Ronnie Washburn. Flying Ryan running in third spot, Albie Ovid, and then Brannon in the number 14, your top 5. Wink, then the number 55, Ronnie Robinson, and Wade Worcester's on the move in car number 8. Worcester high and hard in the turn number 3, halfway, 10 down, 10 to go. Top 4 cars nose to tail as they work down the back straightaway, coming to you folks to the Checkered Flag Pub. Dropping into the third turn, Washburn hanging on to the lead. Russell's in the number 2 spot. Here's Albie Ovid looking for an opportunity on the inside of Flying Ryan. A Seekonk Speedway driver. Nothing happening there. Ovid pulls up behind him, heading down the back chute. Wink, Brannon, and Worcester have got a good battle going on. Further back, and that is going to be for the 5th and 6th spots. Hoffman trying to work his way to the front. Trying to get by the number 1 car of Brian Town. Kenny Scott to the outside in car number 72. Moves by Hoffman. Wade Worcester continues to battle it out with car number 53. Dan Wink. Door to door, wheel to wheel to the back straightaway. They go number to number into turn number 3. Wink and Worcester side by side out of turn 4. Flying Ryan off the pace in the 09. He's got some sparks flying in the engine area, and he's going to come to a stop out here. Whoops. The 11 car goes off the front straightaway and pulls right up, says hello to the NGK right from the start spark plug sign, and decides to leave. Washburn ready to bring him back to the line with Jimmy Russell on the outside, and here we go. Green flag. Side by side now for the lead out of turn number 2. Door to door down the straightaway coming to you guys in turn number 3. Albie over to toe in car number 35. Whoa, Russell loosens up. Here goes over to the inside. Now it's turned into a battle for the number 2 spot behind. The race leader, Ronnie Washburn. Holman puts the nose ahead of the 13 out of turn number 2. Oh, what a battle going on here for the number 2 spot. The final, we got 16 laps completed. A loose tire. Keep an eye on that tire. Oh, man, look at the tire completed the lap ahead of Eric Hoffman. You take the fine time to leave me loose wheel. Taking us back to the 4th of July, Albie over is here. The number 5 around out there with the back straightaway. Albie's going to try, get out of my way, I need to make a tire change. Well, Russell's back, made the tire change. Don't see Ovid. Here they come, looking for the green. Brian gives it to them, we're racing. Washburn is fast off too. Wade Worcester. Look at Billy Fisk on the outside. Bill Fisk is on the move. And he looks right up behind the number 8 of Worcester. Fisk in the number 19. Fisk, the senior version of the Chester Charger. Right there with Wade Worcester. 2 veteran racers here in Lee. Challenging the outsiders on the insiders. They're on the outside. The guys on the inside are from the outside. And here we go with 2 laps to go. Battling it out here, the insiders and the outsiders. Wade Worcester goes to second. Bill Fisk wants to go with him. Checked up just a little bit with those slower cars going to the pit area. White flag is out. Billy Fisk trying to get a 3rd out of this. Look at him run that thing into the corner. Whoa! Fisk here, door to door, down the back chute with Brandon. Into turn number 3, Rocket Ronnie Washburn. Second will go to Wade Worcester, Bill Fisk. Brandon and Wink will round out your top 5. Rocket Ronnie Washburn rolls into victory lane here on Oktoberfest weekend. You know, when Washburn is dialed in, you can guarantee you're going to get a show from the driver of the number 49. Turns in another great performance here today to pick up the win in the hobby stock, strictly stock portion of our show. Ron's out of the car, big hug forward, a big squeeze down there in victory lane. How about a nice hand for Ron Washburn?
Thank you very much, John. Ron, what a difference some tires and a little bit of time off will make. You stunk that show up, buddy.
That's all right, whatever it takes. Well, the last race we ran this car, it was junk. So we've been doing a lot of work to get it straightened out to handle as good as it did tonight. I'm glad I stunk up the show because that's less pressure for me.
Well, you did a great job. Tell us about the folks that stand behind you all season long to help get this job done.
JR Setups. They were Watchman Wheat. Pleasant Valley Motorsports. My mother and stepfather. Fabershausen, Easton, M&D, Auto. Yeah, M&D, right? WD, whatever. My brother Randy, anyway. My whole family. Thank you very much.
There you go, your race winner here at Oktoberfest. The man here today. Good job, brother. Don Francis pulls the pace car to the infield. And we get set to go outlaw mini stock racing. Brian Callen waits. Green flag flies and we're underway. Down the inside, beautiful move from Jim Dennis. Jim Dennis in what looks like a scaled down version of a late model. Dennis now trying to pull away as Ricky Porter gives chase along with Tony Kawaza. Kawaza trying to track down your race leader. 3 wide momentarily in the corner. That number 95. We do not have a name on that driver, but that car is insanely fast. Very low to the ground, nice stance. It's a Ford body, I think it's a Focus body. Or an old style Thunderbird. Looks like a Thunderbird as a matter of fact. Right now, Jim Dennis is taking off and leaving this field behind. Ricky Porter giving chase. And Dennis is tracking down lapped traffic already. 6 laps in the books this time by the stripe, and Jim Dennis is in lap traffic. Around goes the 94 on the front stretch, yellow flag flies. Brandon Warren around on the front stretch. I want to thank Pete for coming out with us here this weekend. It was an honor to meet with him. Also, Spence will be back on mic in just a little bit. Green flag flies, we're back to racing. So that yellow flag bunched this field right back up. Ricky Porter may have a shot at your race leader, the number 38 of Jim Dennis. I'll tell you what, that Jim Dennis car just handles like a dream, doesn't it? They are hooked up here this weekend. It's Dennis, followed by Porter and Kawaza. Not sure who the 09 is, but the 09 car, one of 2 of them on the racetrack, trying to make a move to find a way around Kawaza. Now I know the name is on the roof, but the car's going by here at about 55, 60 miles an hour, and I just can't make out the name. I can tell you it's a long name, though. That 09 all over the back bumper of Ricky Porter. Jim Dennis trying to pull away once again. He's into lap traffic again. Into some of the more stock-looking vehicles. Ricky Porter with a little shot to say hello to the number 53. Another driver we don't have an identity on. Several of these cars pulled in after we gathered our information here up in the tower. And with all the hustle and the bustle of Oktoberfest weekend, we have not been able to go down there and update our rosters for the Outlaw Mini Stocks. Jim Dennis. Now with some company up at the front, here comes that 09 car to the high side of Ricky Porter down the backstretch. Great battle with the top three as now we're getting involved with some lap traffic. The number 47 is Ron Ryham. Closing laps, 2 more laps to go. Well, if the 09 wins, we'll at least find out his name in victory lane. That's the least we could do. Jim Dennis right now is your race leader. Car around the backstretch, but back underway. No caution. Lap traffic could be a factor. Jim Dennis tracks him down. They're too wide. Dennis commits to the inside. He'll try to squeeze himself to the outside. Checkers in the air. Jim Dennis will take home the race win in the Outlaw Mini Stocks, and what a race it was for the Outlaw Mini Stocks. I'll head down trackside and we'll talk to our race winner, Jim Dennis.
Jim Dennis, who just won this race, he races up at the USA Speedway. This is a very incredible racing story. You can see the folks down at the start-finish line. They are wheeling a wheelchair out to victory lane. Jim Dennis is a paraplegic and drives with special hand controls and devices so that he can drive a race car. Unbelievable. We have one more event coming up, the final race of the year here. Here he comes, being assisted out by his crew. There's the checkered flag in hand. How about a nice hand for Jim Dennis? He's a happy guy, and he's going to chat with our Daryl Morley down there in Victory Lane.
We've got your race winner, Jim Dennis, here. Jim, you went out there and you showed these guys what a driver is all about. Fantastic run, man. You took off with this thing from the start, but they were tracking you down at the end.
Yeah, the 09 car has been a thorn in our side for years now, and we've had the best year we've ever had. We won 6 races this year out of 11 we run. I've been snake bit at this place many times. And I'll tell you what, my crew, my girlfriend, everyone, all my sponsors, I can't name them all because we'll be here for an hour, but this is what it's all about. Anyone who knows anyone in a wheelchair, you tell them life doesn't end.
Life certainly does not end. You don't need 2 legs that work perfectly. You need 4 wheels, and that's what Jim Dennis has. Your winner, Jim Dennis. That's actually Shane Horvath, who in weeks past has driven the number 95 car. So now we have no clue who's in the 95 car, but we know it's Horvath in the 26. We know it's Tim Boyle in the number 90, and we know it's Brett Chavarie in the number 79 machine. Other than that, flip a coin. We have no idea who they are.
It's the Horvath family automobile, the family wagon. Matt LeBlanc debuts, gives him the green flag.
Horvath with the lead.
Whoa.
Stack up some Ironman cars. That 4 car is pretty quick, isn't it?
It is. Right up to 3rd there.
Looks like is that a probe? No, that's a Grand Prix maybe, isn't it? Little Pontiac.
Is that Janet's station wagon? There goes the blazing 4. Whew.
Varoom, baby. Varoom.
Varoom.
We got the Grand Prix or Grand Am. I think it might be a Grand Am out in the front of the pack, and Chavarie just moved around the number 26 of Horvath. You know, Horvath this year going with the Ricky Bobby paint scheme because the car was white, didn't have a lot of money to paint the car or didn't feel the desire to paint it as well. Said, who's got a white paint scheme? I know, Ricky Bobby from the movie Talladega Nights. I tried to convince him to stop on the front stretch, strip down to his boxers and run around screaming about being on fire, but I don't think he went for it.
Well, it appears the Horvath family uses Wonder Bread at the supper table, as the car is sponsored by Wonder Bread. I don't know, Shane went from the front to the back, so I think the Wonder Bread went stale.
I gotta ask you, John, have you seen Talladega Nights yet?
Buddy, I haven't even seen Natural Lights yet.
It's a fantastic movie, and that's where they take the paint scheme for this car from. I asked him where the Fig Newton sticker was. There's a scene in Talladega Nights where he's got a Fig Newton sticker on the windshield of his car. And they're showing the in-race footage, and he goes, I know this is completely stupid and quite dangerous, but I gotta love them Fig Newtons.
Rumor of the week is that Shane's gotten a $10,000 sponsorship from Wonder Bread.
Well, depending on how he runs here, they might pay him to take it off the car. Tell you right now, Shane Horvath is a great kid, 16 years old, no license, and we love picking on him a little bit down when we're hanging out here. And for the record, we do like Shane Horvath. We think he's
we're just ragging on him because we like his parents.
He is definitely part of the family here.
$10,000 and all the stale crust you can eat.
They take him through the warehouse and they say, if it's green, you can have it.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, boy.
Well, on the plus side, eating the old bread, he gets a sandwich and fights infection at the same time.
Yeah. Well, you better be careful now, because we keep ragging on him. He's going to throw a loaf of bread at us. Janet, he's got your car out there. Oh boy. Now, if Donnie was smart,
I noticed he used if to start that statement, John.
he'd throw those little Wonder donuts out the window. You know those powdery little round donuts?
Those are good. Those are fantastic. Hostess makes those, though. It's not a Wonder deal. You know what? I can eat 4 of those at once.
That's what we need. I mean, we got a Wonder Bread car. We need a Hostess Twinkie car.
No, because you know what happens. Someone would try to break it open and get to the creamy filling.
Here we go. Where are we going?
Matt says hello to the drivers. Oh wait, no, that's 5 to go.
Where's my friend Tim Boyle? Oh, there he is. Is he in the 90 tonight?
God, I hope so, because if not, that's only 2 drivers we know.
I know, we got outside entries here. Come on, Shane.
I think I can, I think I can, I think I can.
What I want to know is that Donnie's dad's car or is that Janet's dad's car? It's Don's dad's car.
Not anymore, it's the Shane Horvath mobile. Shane, by the way, driving injured today, got hit by a baseball.
Really?
On Tuesday, yeah, I guess it was bad karma, what it was. He wouldn't give somebody any cookies, and then he got hit by a baseball like 2 plays later, so.
Whoa.
Always share your cookies, kids, especially when the fat announcer guy asks you for a cookie. White flag displayed by our flagger. I didn't know he was French.
There we go. Yeah, that's Matt LeBlanc. Used to play for the Montreal Canadiens. Here we go. It's a showdown between the Wonder Bread vehicle and the number 90. Checkered flag. There's your winner, the number 4. I don't want you to think that the other guys were running for the lead. All right, we got a little silly. It's been a long weekend. We've called a lot of races here in the tower, and we had fun with Shane Horvath. And I really hope he comes back with a car shaped like a Hostess Twinkie next year. Twinkie colors, nice and yellow, a little gold down the bottom. Well, that is going to put the wraps on it here. The McGoldrick Brothers Napa number 43 is down there in victory. No, I guess that's not. That's part of the flame. That's not a 3. That's a 4. Let's go down to trackside. Daryl Morley's down here with our winner.
Thank you very much, John. We're going to grab him once he's able to release himself from the restraints in the car. Just come on over here, my good man. I refer to you by your name, but I guess that can be our first question. What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Jamie Heath from Waterford, Maine.
All right, and where's your home track up in Waterford? I know there's a lot of great tracks up in Maine.
Oxford Plains Speedway.
Oh, fantastic facility. You bring this car out here for Oktoberfest. You had a good time. Hopefully, you had a good time. You put on a good show. This car is sick fast.
Just picked it up Wednesday. Just bought that one and that one Wednesday. Put the seats in them, and that's all we've done.
Well, the big question here, did you have fun at Oktoberfest?
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Wish there's 20, 30 cars, but at least it wasn't caution, 2 hours worth of cautions.
Well, we did a good job here. We had got a bunch of great racing in. I'm glad you had a good time, and I got a bad memory. What's the name again? Jamie Heath takes home the win here in the Ironman division. We'll throw it up to John to close it out for the season, and what a season it's been.
That it has, Daryl, and we'd like to thank everybody for making it a huge success here. So with that, on behalf of Bob Watson and Peter Watson, Red and Judy McDonald, all of the officials, the competitors, and our sponsors here at Lee USA, fans, thank you so much. Drive home safely. Good night, everybody.
a tribute to the Westboro Speedway. Journey back through time with photos, films, and videos. Experience the cars, the stars, the way it was. Through the 50s to the 80s at the High Bank Quarter Mile Speedway. Plus, a look at the 2001 Westboro Speedway reunion. Order now by calling 888-RACE-VIDEO or 603-679-6796. Now you can own a part of racing history. Stars of the Winston Cup Series compete on a local short track. Not just an exhibition, but real wheel-to-wheel, no-holds-barred racing. Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Morgan Shepherd, Ernie Irvin, Jeffrey Bodine, Davey Allison, and many more, racing pro stocks against local drivers. To order your VHS copy in hi-fi stereo sound, call toll-free 888-RACE-VIDEO. That's 888-RACE-VIDEO.